Yo, what's up? My name's Patrouski. What's up, fellas? Welcome back to another PokeMMO stream recap. How are we doing today? How are we feeling? We have a lot to do today. I have a little bit of everything planned for today. I'm going to go ahead and collect this Pokeyen. I have a bit of money making plan today, mostly via, I'll be super honest, I need to relist a lot of my Pokemon. I have things that have been sitting here for months and months and months, and I like relisted a little bit during event season. This shiny flip, for example, this is just too much cash sitting tied up. We want to go ahead and relist a lot of these, get some money, more money flowing. I did put out a video this morning that covered breeding for profit, and I was shocked. I think all of those sold. I went back and I tried to check. People ask me all the time, when you're catching Pokemon for profit, buying Pokemon for profit, do those things actually sell? And I understand the skepticism. It's good skepticism. And I try to always tell people, like, yeah, like around 90% of the Pokemon that I breed for profit, or rather sell, around 90% of the Pokemon that I list sell, right, within the first listing cycle, which is usually around 2 to 3 weeks. And then I would say 10% of them don't sell, 9% out of human error, which is shocking, but you'd be surprised at just how difficult. I always try to say, like, it's price checking is really, really difficult. It's really, really high end. There's such a high skill ceiling when it comes to price checking, right? Price checking is one of those things where the skill floor is so low. You can do your basic reverse price checks, but then you get into like, what should you price check it? How should you sell a Pokemon? Who's buying it for what reason? Price checks get extremely complicated. Someone actually left a really good comment recently on a video of mine saying like, hey, it disappoints me that Patrouski doesn't really talk about the value of like certain female species enough. And this was a comment, I believe, on a video called like top 10 things for new players, top 10 like day one PokeMMO activities. I understand the frustration as a player. If I saw, as a serious player, I would be like, hey man, like this is leaving out information. But as a content creator, I think you learn to understand, you purposefully leave out pieces of information to not overwhelm people, right? When you're trying to teach, when I'm making a guide dedicated towards beginners and I'm trying to teach beginners, like, hey, on your day one in PokeMMO, make sure to catch 31 IV Pokemon, that's a big difference than if I were to be doing something like a full price checking guide. And I failed to mention, like, oh yeah, make sure if you have a Gibble, it being female is more important because it's a species that is very desired. We can go check PvP statistics. Like, there's a time and a place on when to talk about things and when to include information. I think it's something that you really, really learn if you've ever been a teacher or if you ever, made guide type content. You learn to understand that purposefully with like leaving out information is really relevant sometimes. And I have a tendency to over yap and over explain things, so it's something that I try to work on. But if you disagree with what was left out, that's okay. I'm already rambling. I'm already yapping, boys. We have a lot to do today. I have some money making relisting things. I want to do a little bit of shiny hunting. We still have 53k dry, but I might just start getting to the point where I start EV training, XP training, getting into preparing some more raid Pokemon, especially eventually one day prepping like Heatran raid Pokemon or something like that. So we'll have to see what happens. Yeah, RP. Yeah, hey Pat, I noticed that RP vouchers are really cheap right now. What is your opinion on that? I don't have much of an opinion on it besides, yeah, they're really cheap right now. It's pretty interesting. I think a lot of players were willing to credit card swipe. Is really more players were willing to credit card swipe during the recent Lunar New Year event, and it really affected RP prices. So if you want to buy RP, it's probably a good time. Like if you ever wanted to buy RP, it doesn't really get much cheaper than this. Like 2.2 mil. Maybe we could have like a change in the market, but like you don't really see RP get much cheaper than 2.2 mil. Like you really don't get it. You really don't see it get much cheaper than 2.2 mil. Someone asked what raid Pokemon I prep. It's a great question. In terms of Pokemon I want to prep for raids, for whatever I have, so I want to really work on cleaning out my boxes this year. I kind of need to rehaul everything. I plan to sell off a fair bit of my comps, I think, especially like these NU comps. Like I don't need to keep this Exploud. Like this is a troll Exploud comp from 2021. As funny as it is, I just don't need it. It takes up too much box space. I don't need stuff like that, so I'm not gonna worry about it. But then I have, so one of my favorite things in Pokemon that I haven't been able to do for the past like 8 months because of event season, because of shiny wars, etc., is I have a box of things called UTs, and these are untrained. These are competitive Pokemon that are untrained, right? It is one of my favorite things to EV train, XP train, and make Pokemon usable, breed them up. Like, there's something so satisfying, about taking a Pokemon, breeding it from scratch, EV training it, then XP training it, and then either selling it off or having it for personal use. So I have a lot of plans for stuff like this. So my plan is to start working on chipping away at this UT box. As you can see, it's almost full, man. I can't be having a full UT box. That's brutal. This is a really good question. Hey, but I finally caught all of the roaming legendaries. Is there any point in catching extra? Not really, man. It's really up to you. Like, personally, so I always say what I did was, and even catching the legendaries in general, if you want to argue like efficiency, there's not really an efficient reason to catch the legendaries. There's really not. It's cheaper to just buy them, right? However, thankfully, we don't play games just to be 100% efficient, right? It's fun. It's fun. It's a fun challenge. I've really noticed, honestly, going after legendaries, as mundane as it is, I feel like it is probably one of the main go-to endgame activities right now for casual PokeMMO players, and I mean all PokeMMO players, but I think casuals really like completing the storylines and going for legendaries, which is a really good thing. It's just a really, really good thing. So there's not really a reason to go for extra. I've ended up with one extra Zapdos on accident, one extra Raikou on accident. You know, if you get them, catch them, it's kind of cool, right? But you don't really need to. But yeah, it's really, even catching them in the first place, you don't really need to go for them. It's really just fun. That's true. The only that's a good point, honestly, Tober, with OT being a requirement now for raids. That's kind of a good point. The only efficiency reason is to get OT like Zapdos for good raids that require. That's honestly a fair point. But yeah, there's never really been an efficient reason to go for legendaries. It's just for fun, which is what it's all about, man. You want to have those collecting goals are what make PokeMMO what it is, man. I've been playing a ton of Minecraft recently, and I always compare Minecraft to PokeMMO in the fact that, like, Minecraft is an infinitely playable game. I've been playing the same world for, I wish it was been longer, but I keep losing files, but I've been playing this same world for about 3 years now, 2 or 3 years, since like early 2023, so I guess 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. And I love seeing the like progress and like seeing it develop. And you can play Minecraft infinitely the same way you can play PokeMMO infinitely, but you have to create goals. You have to be like, you know what, I want to go build a glass dome. I want to go build a giant cobblestone castle that floats in the sky. I want to go build a giant ravine and have water run through it. I want to go for shiny Lilomola. I want to, you know, revamp my comp boxes. I want to sell off some of my NU comps. I want to train up all these UTs. Like, there's just so many things you can do, and it's a matter of setting personal goals, which is so important to talk about post-event season with less direct gameplay goals staring you in the face. Okay, I feel pretty good. I feel like we've relisted a lot of the big stuff. Some stuff already insta-sold, which is nice, so we'll claim the extra 90k Pokeyen or so there. We'll take that all day. Right, something I really want to test today, which will get its own video, is EV training and XP training as a new player for profit. Because I kind of have an inkling that's one of the better money-making methods right now for new players during this like current off season, right? I think that method, that and like trainer reruns, obviously. Trainer reruns, Jimmy runs, pure yen methods. But then if you're not doing pure yen methods, the grinding of EV training and XP training. So I do want to test that here today for sure. However, before that, we're gonna do some end game money making today and some beginner aimed money making method strat. So let's go ahead and first things first, let's do end game. Let's do some breeding for profit. Let's see if we can find any breeds for profits today. And since it's off season, people are looking to become new players, looking to make money. I think one of the cool things I want to look out for today is trainer rerun Cloysters. What's the cheapest trainer rerun Cloyster? We see an adamant one here for 110k. Shelder. Is Shelder with 2 L's? It is with 2 L's. 105k. Okay. I'm curious what we could build, if we could build one. So around 100k is what we could sell these for. How cheap could we make one? Let me try to find a good deal. Okay, not a breed for profit, but I'll take a flip. Look at this, 65k for a 2x 31 Cloyster. Lonely Nature. Now that is not worth, this is overpriced, right? What I would do is I would check Adamant, which is the better. It's a better. You really only need Lonely or Naughty for trainer reruns. You don't need Adamant. It's kind of overkill for a PVM mon like that, but that was 65k bought. Well, this will be the easiest 110k sell. Easiest 110k sell for sure. Whoa, dude, how is the, honestly, I don't know if there's a lot of room for breeding Cloysters for profit now that I'm looking. I'm trying to check, but look at the cheapest Adamant Cloyster is 28k. And then the cheapest Adamant Shelder is 15k, 20k. That's pretty insane. That's like pretty crazy. But I'm all over the place today. I'm getting distracted, but it's kind of good. I want to test money making. I didn't even breed anything for profit. I just flipped the one Cloyster. I want to go test, but I saw Shellders, man. That what I think a big part of money making or playing Pokemon in general is you wake up, you're like, okay, I'm gonna breed Shellders for profit today, and then you check the market and you're like, wait a minute, they might be really good to catch for profit, and then going and testing that, and then being like, oh, well, now that I've caught these, now I could breed them, or now I could do this, or I could take the other, you know, why are they so expensive? Oh, because Cloysters are really good for trainer reruns. Oh, well, what if I buy the Shellders and then I EV train and XP train them? Is that better money per hour? Like, there's so many, every single Pokemon in Pokemon is like an assembly line of different things being done to it to add and create value. I'm gonna go ahead and start fishing here. I'm gonna test Shelder for a few test runs for fun, see how it goes. And then eventually I might end up doing a loot from hour. I haven't done a loot from 1 hour in a very, very, very long time. But I think doing a loot from 1 hour, it might be the time to bring it back, boys. As a lot of new players check out the game post-event season. Not even a nibble, though. That's a problem. Okay, these are level 55, so I was a little nervous that Quick Ball wouldn't work for these. But based on the Dragonfly Cave website's Gen 5 catch calc, which we don't have exact catch rates in PokeMMO compared to that, but it's pretty close. It says that it's a 100% catch rate. So I'm curious. We're going to test a few. If this is a 100% catch rate, we can Adamant synchronize. This could be quite good. This could, like, every single Adamant one being 15k, and then we get like an Adamant 31 attack IV. It's insane. This could be really, really interesting. Oh, this is a good catch. This is a great catch. Naive, 31 speed, 25 plus is here. My first good catch. I don't know if this will be good enough for a full loot from 1 hour. I mean, how long have I been doing this for? Maybe it is. The costs are going to be significant if you're quick balling them all like I am. I feel like you could make money from this, but I'm curious of like how much, you know? Okay, I feel like Shellders should be good money, and I think I'm just getting criminally unlucky. I'm gonna go back to the PC really quick and see how many Shellders I've caught. Like I have not had a single Adamant synchronize, I don't think. I'm pretty sure I checked all the natures. Yeah. I mean, it's not that crazy unlucky to be fair, but by the time I've had, it's 20% chance. So with 10 caught, with 5 caught, I should have 1 on average. And with 10 caught, I should have 1 on average. What I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm in really bad luck, but I think I'm going to do the loop for 1 hour. I feel like this could be a good method. So I'm going to go ahead and do the loop for 1 hour. I have no idea, and I'll say that in the video very clearly. I don't know if this is going to be a good method or not. I genuinely am here to test. I don't really have much of a presumption. I have no idea how much money per hour this could be. We're just gonna have to see. So let me just go ahead and, are these all like releases? Like these, this is a brutal loss, honestly, per, the Shellders don't have a base price. Yeah, these are just, well, does the egg group have one? That's an important one to check. Water Sea males, or Water Sea males worth anything? I kind of doubt it. I don't think this egg group has anything crazy. Actually, okay, Water Sea males, wait a minute. Okay, Water Sea males probably go for about 3k. You see these ones here for cheaper, but they've, you know, only listed for less than 30 minutes. And they click, okay, so okay, all male Shellders will actually make profit then, even using quick balls. Okay, that makes this way better than I thought it was going to be. That's actually super hype. This is a great question. Someone's talking about Mystic Mirrors and how that's an item that tanked this event. And it's true, because they were in the sealed product, right? Ooh, 31 attack. That's a really good catch. Nice, dude. Anyways, yeah, Mystic Mirrors. 2 items that have recently tanked, which are important to talk about. I talk about the items that spike a lot. I also try to mention items that tank, but it's just less interesting sometimes. But it's really important because I always say, whenever you're watching anyone discuss anything, you should hear positives and negatives, especially of markets. It's a big red flag if someone who covers markets, whether in a game or IRL, for a little bit of advice, I guess, like, if someone only covers the tanks or only covers the spikes, usually that means they kind of have an agenda, and like they should be covering a little bit of both. It's really, really important to get an holistic lens of a market, right? I'm getting a little distracted by what I'm doing in game, but there's a Shelder catch for quick attack. But so Mystic Mirrors went from like a peak of 1 million Pokeyen or so. These went down to like 150k or so during the event at one point. So they've already gone back up a little bit, which is nice. This is the item in game, literally the item that lets you change your appearance, base appearance, gender, and skin tone. This is a really important item in game. It will never be the price that it was when it first released, because there's obviously always going to be like more supply or whatever every single year as new events bring them in. But it's a really important item to kind of keep an eye on. What are these catches? Adamant. This is a good catch. Wow. Anyways, I'm distracted. Mystic Mirror tanked a bit, but that probably is a good shorter term investment. Not financial advice, but in my personal opinion and feelings, it's a pretty good like short term investment to buy those. It's most likely that'll go up over the next coming months, up to like maybe 600k, 800k or so at its peak would be my guess. And then someone said Mystic Watches. I don't see Mystic Watches going up anytime soon, even though they tanked similarly, because there's just not really a demand for these. These reset the cooldown on summoning orb legendaries, which right now the only one is Darkrai, and Darkrai just isn't used for anything at the moment. So there's just not really like Mystic Watches. If you want to buy some for fun or take like a high risk flip or investment, go for it. You can. I wouldn't recommend it. Mystic Mirrors are kind of hard to go wrong if they're like 300k or below, or maybe 350-ish. I think those, as long as they don't like in the summer release like a 13th anniversary event or something, or a 12-year anniversary event, and that also drops Mystic Mirrors, that would suck for investors, but that could happen. Things like that. So Pokemon's unpredictable, but I might buy a few Mystic Mirrors if I had more cash. To be fair, I'm pretty broke right now. If I had more cash and had more ability to invest, I'd probably buy a few Mystic Mirrors. Okay, we finished Loop for 1 hour of Shellders. I was pleasantly impressed. That video will be coming out in full. However, I gave chat the decision. Should we train Pokemon for profit as a new player and test that today? We already ended up testing them out today. Or should we just shiny hunt? And it seems like unanimously we're in the shunting mood, okay? I'm 53k dry. I've got to hit soon. Copium. Let's go ahead. Let's do some Sand Slash encounters. Maybe we'll shake it up. Maybe the spot is cursed. Who's to say? But we're going to do some encounters for now and talk about the game that we love very much. Pat, do you agree that Unova is the best region to start because it's the only region with 2 XP shares? I have a video called What's the Best Region in Pokemon that breaks down all the positives and negatives of each region, and I always say in that video, I do think Unova is the best starting region, and that's only one of the regions. Like, Unova is so far and above and beyond, in my opinion, the best starting region. Now, realistically, the best starting region for PokeMMO is the region that you enjoy the most and have the most fun with, because it'll help you play the game and actually enjoy yourself, which will help you if you're having fun, you'll make more progress, right? The person that tries to be really progress orientated and only efficiency brained and does nothing for fun, on average, sometimes people just, that is their fun, right? But for some people, or for most people, that's going to burn you out. Right? That's going to burn you out sooner. The efficiency is going to burn you out sooner rather than if you just like were inefficient and play the game the way you enjoy and then played for longer, right? Unova is super easy. It's super fast. You get double XP shares. You get a pretty good XP training spot. You get some of the best EV training spots. It's the best region to finish first for trainer or Jimmy runs. You get the fastest daycare access for breeding for profit. I'm out to hit 54,000 encounters here. Nice. There's just so many, like Unova is like so above and beyond the best first starting region in my personal opinion. Or Kanto because you're a boomer like me, Giga Chad. This is actually a really good question. How similar is investing in this game compared to flipping an OSRS? I'll answer two things. I'm going to change your word investing to flipping. So how similar is flipping in PokeMMO to flipping in OSRS? It's similar in the thing that like, oh yeah, buy low, sell high. But it's so different because in OSRS, when you're flipping an OSRS, you're putting in a buy order that's like, oh yeah, buy all, rune two-hander. I'm just giving an example. Rune two-handers for like 37k because they out for like 40k. So you can sell them back and make a little profit, whatever. Every item in OSRS like has a price, right? And you can kind of get some snipes and like do niche things or like kind of like find a hole in the market, right? Flipping in PokeMMO is way different because every single Pokemon is different, right? In Runescape, every single rune two-hander is the same sword. There's no stats, there's no like kill count, nothing else is attached to it. It's all the same. In PokeMMO, every single Bulbasaur is different. Every single Squirtle, every single species, every single egg, different natures, different spreads of IVs, different abilities, hidden ability access, alpha access, yada yada. Price checking and flipping in PokeMMO is much more complicated, in my opinion, than flipping in RuneScape. But the potential for profit, everybody knows flipping is really good money, but the potential for profit in PokeMMO is even better. Flipping in PokeMMO is easily the best money making, as is in most MMOs, but it's just so egregious. Like, you can make ridiculous money flipping in PokeMMO. There was a Team Mr. member who came back to the game, I believe, after a long break and literally went from 0 Pokeyen to 1 billion within a year of flipping. Now, that is an extreme example. I'm not saying everybody can do that. That's ridiculous. But that's it's just to show what's possible, right? The fact that that's possible is insane. You can make egregious amounts of Pokeyen flipping. It's so knowledge-based, skill-based, and you need capital. You have to get the capital for sure flowing. Alrighty, fellas, I've been live for about 5 hours. I feel like it is time to call it. Unfortunately, doubters win again today. Not too much shiny hunting today, but we did do a fair bit of money making and tested a new money maker method. I'm really excited to get that Shelder video out to people as soon as possible, as well as tomorrow I'll probably be doing some money making. I will probably I'll probably do some EV training and XP training, like training up Pokemon as a new player to make some money. So I'm curious to see how that will go, how that test will be. If you enjoyed this video, as always, like it helps tremendously. Subscribe if you want to see daily PokeMMO videos. Follow me on Twitch for streams Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET. Discord down below if you're interested in that. If you want to go above and beyond and support my content, if it's been helpful enough to you to warrant it, as well as you can afford it, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal Venmo donations do go an extremely long way. I will see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully we'll break the shiny streak soon, and hopefully we'll make some more Pokeyen and kind of help new players and regrind up post-event season. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace, Reno. Hey, thank you so very much for watching until the very end of the video. That means the world to me. And if your name is listed here, you're the reason I'm able to do this in the first place by going above and beyond and supporting the channel via YouTube memberships and Twitch Primes. Thank you so much. Have a great day.